Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and I do apologize for this, but for some reason my microphone did not work during this whole video. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got accidentally unplugged when I was moving some things around or what, but anyway, I come back to edit and I had no sound. So I can't do the video over because I've already finished the album. So I'm going to try to talk you through it. I will probably speed certain parts up and let you see what's going on. But like I said, I do apologize, but hopefully you'll get the gist of how this is put together anyway. This is just the decorating part. Now what I'm showing you right now is I covered that spine part up with just a piece of material. It's a cream color material, and then I put some lace around it. And then I went ahead and did some lace on the front and did some little embellishments and clusters in there. Those are just some little T tags that I have put in there, and then I inserted one of those little tags that I made in that pocket. And then this is just some little clusters. I put that little belly band there, and then I've just tucked in one of those little vellum tags that we made the other day. I'm going to link everything that I can think of below for you guys, for the ones who didn't see. There I done another cluster, and then I have just put some lace, and that is from Cindy's Vintage Cafe, and I will link that below. This is just a pocket, and for some reason, I'm saying here, I'm looking back and forth, for some reason I skipped this complete page on decorating. I don't know why. I don't know if it was stuck together or what, but I go back later and decorate it, and then I show you in the photos. I'll have photos at the end where I show you all of the pages separately and everything that I have done to them. But I don't know how I skipped that one, but evidently I did. So hopefully this voiceover is okay. I don't like voiceovers that much, and I may not be able to do a lot of talking in it. I may speed certain parts up, but I will try to get as many questions answered as I possibly can. Now this is another page where I had a pocket there on the left and one on the right. And then this was the center of the album, so I put some book page down through there. I just glued it down, and that covered up that little bit of yellow. You know, we left that yellow there where I had sewn it together. So I just glued some book page down through there to cover that up. And I have just done some little clusters on each side, and added some butterflies and some T tags and different things. And again, I will try to link everything below that I can think of that I put into this album if you want to go look at it. This is just one of those little vellum pockets, and I trimmed it off just a little bit, made it a little smaller, and then I just made a little tag to go inside of it. I left plenty of room for photos and journaling and things like that. I did put a little floral card on the front of that, and then just a little butterfly and a Tim Holtz snippet. And then this is that tag pocket that we made the other day. Love, love, love that. Here I left lots of room for a photo, and then I just put a little vintage flower lace piece that I had, a tea card, a little Tim Holtz snippet, and then I put some bling and another little flower up there at the left, I think. And I think I have a little piece of book page under there. And then that is just a tag pocket that I made probably a week or so ago in one of the videos. I still have to make another little tag to go inside that. And then there where those two pages connected, I just put a little piece of my lace down through there. I tried to put lace on every page. I just thought that made it look good. Now I didn't do anything to that page right there. I love that page and how it looks, so I didn't add anything on there. That is just a piece of book page that I made into a pocket. I stamped, and I'll put that link below where we did those. That's one of those little notebook things that we made a while ago, and I'm going to put some pages in there so I can do some journaling on them, and I've just got that tucked down in there. And then there is the back page with some lace on there. So I've just got to go back and finish that page up, and I do just a little bit to it. I don't do much because I love that picture there on the right. That's so pretty. So that is basically the flip through of the album, and then we will get into making this, and I hope you'll stay with me. here going to start decorating this album, and I've just got some things laid out there on the front. Nothing is glued down yet. I just kind of laid out what I think I might like. And so we are going to start on the front cover, and we're just going to start gluing some things down and decorating. Now what I'm explaining there is I don't want to put a lot of thick embellishments on the inside because I don't want it to look like a gator mouth. So since we just sewed this together and it doesn't have a big spine, I'm just going to put some thin embellishments inside. Probably just some book pages and some of those flat flower cards and different things like that. Now right here, all I'm doing is just inking up a piece of vellum that I had that was stamped on. I love the stamped on vellum. I love, love, love it. It's one of my favorite embellishments to use. And I like the torn edges. I like to ink them up and make them look really dark and distressed. To me, it just looks like an old burnt piece of paper or something like that. I just like that. I like that look. If you don't like the ink look, that is fine. You do not have to do this. Now, I may speed parts of this up just because I don't want the video to be 2 hours long. I will talk through it, but it may be just a little bit faster. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. Okay, so I just have this sped up 2 times, so it's not that fast, but it's going to go just a little bit faster, but I'm going to try my best to explain everything that I'm doing. That is a little tag that I got from Shabby Dabby Doodah, and I will put her link below where I printed off those little tags. They're really like little book plates, so I bought those. It's a digital kit. And I'm putting one of those down, and it says journal, I do believe. That's a vintage piece of lace that came off of an old slip that I have had probably 50 years or more. I don't know. I think my mother gave it to me many, many years ago. But that I'm going to put at the top. I don't know. I liked that look. And then I have a little card over there that I printed off of the graphic fairy. I printed that off. It's just a little flower, and I've trimmed that out and just put some ink on it. So I'm going to use that. I'm using my art glitter glue to put most everything down. It doesn't seem to show through a lot of things, so I'm not worried about that. So I'm just going to kind of layer these up in a look that I like. May not be a look you like, but I like just the layered look and things to look like they've just been put down there haphazardly. That is just a little die that I had cut out a while ago to use on another project, and I didn't use it, so I'm just going to put it on this one. And let's see, looks like I'm going to put a little flower. Oh, that's a little card from the Tim Holtz. I think it's the snippets. I'll put the link to them below. I love those little things. They're little shrunk up pieces of ephemera, and they're just right to use on places like this. And then that is a little flower that we had in our May kits, and I just keep all the little extras in my stash, and I use them as I can. Now I'm trying to decide on that lace, and I end up, you've seen in the pictures in the beginning, I end up putting lace all through here, so I just love it. I love the look. So I'm going to put that down there that just says journal. Even though this is like a little mini album, it's going to be kind of like a journal. I'm going to use it for Melina's birthday. Her birthday was last week. And I'm going to use it for her birthday photos and things like that. And then I'll probably end up giving it to her once I get everything put in here. Now, I didn't go ahead and put my photos in this, but I will put the photos in there, and I'll probably take more shots and put it on my Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I put lots of photos over there of things that I make that I may not do a video on. So I'll put that link below where you can go over and make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can see all the extra things that I might make that I don't get to do a video on. Okay, I am just cutting out, I'm digging in my little stash of bling here, and I'm just going to put some bling on either end of that little book plate to make it look like that's what's holding it down. I didn't want to put a brad through there or an eyelet or anything like that because I didn't want it to interfere with my other page. So I just put that on there. I think that looks fine. And I come back later on and I put a couple more flowers on there after I put that lace on. I just think it made it look better. I had some little harsh edges that I didn't like. Now that is the page that has the double pockets. You have one pocket that goes into the right and then one pocket that goes into the left. And I just want to stick something in the pocket there, but then I want to do a little bit of embellishing on the top of that little pocket. So that is one of the cards that we made from a book page the other day. It's got little pockets in it, and I will link that below where we made those. I like to make up a lot of extra little books and tags and things like that, so that when I start making an album like this, I already have them made up and in my stash, so then I can use them as I need to. Now that is from a Prima paper collection. Those are little cards, and I call them little tea cards. I really don't know if that's what they are or not, but I just love them. They go very, very well with this whole paper collection. They have the pinks and the greens and all of that in there. And I'm just going to clip those apart and just tuck those down in that little pocket there to the left. And then I can use them throughout the album when I put my photos in there if I need to. I just love those little cards. I had 2 of those paper collections, and I cut out all of those cards. Those are from the 6x6 collection, and I will try to find that collection and link it below. Someone actually posted under the video the other day and told me what the name of it was, so I'll have to go back and find her comment and let you guys know. Now, I'm going to try to hold the book up each time that I put a cluster or an embellishment or whatever on there so that you can see it a little bit better. I wanted to keep the video kind of spread out so that you could see the whole album while I was decorating, but I'll try to hold everything up and so that you can see things. And I'm just going through my little, this is some ephemera that I pulled out of my ephemera journal, and I put it in there so that I could just access it really, really quick. But when I get finished with this album, I'll put it all back in my ephemera journal. And if you want to know how I made the ephemera journal, I will link that below as well. That was a really easy and quick project, and we've had lots and lots of people who have done that one. Sorry, I was just writing that down so that I would remember to link the ephemera journal. If I get quiet, that's what I'm doing. I'm writing something down or just thinking for a minute what I'm doing. Now, there's parts of this that I could skip through, but in order to skip through, I need to do 2 edits, and I don't really want to do that since I'm having to do a voiceover. So parts of it, you may just see me thinking on what I need to put on there and going through the process of laying things out and picking things up, and that's just the process that I do when I start doing clusters and adding embellishments and things like that. Is I'll lay something down, and if it doesn't look right, then I pull it back up and I put something else down. That's just my process. So if you want to see the process, I've had lots of people who've said, I'd like to see your thinking process, so here it is. If you don't want to see my thinking process, you can always, fast forward a little bit. But those are just some little flowers that I got out of the Tim Holtz little, I think it's snippets. I want to say it's snippets. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I will link them below, I promise. And then that's just a piece of, it came off of a dress from many, many years ago. It's just a vintage piece of lace, and I love it. I use it very sparingly because I only have just about a foot of it left. So I use it just in tiny little pieces. And I'm just making a little cluster to put on there, and I'm showing you now. And then I end up sliding it up to the top, I think. I just think it looked better at the top for some reason. Okay, now on this page, I don't think I end up doing a lot on this page. I'm just going through some of my printed off pieces from the Graphics Fairy. And those you can print off and use for free. You do have to make an account, but it's just like you do an email and then a password. Okay, so I've looked at this flower. I like the white flower on there, but I am going to trim it out. And when I trim flowers out like this, I usually leave just a little bit of white around the edges. So I'm trimming that out, and then I'm just going to make another little cluster down there in that bottom right corner. And these are very, very easy to trim out. I love printing these off, and you can, if you have a program that you can put them into, like an Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, something like that, you can enlarge these or shrink them, do whatever you want to, and they'll keep their same shape and image. You don't get the blurriness if you can put them in something like that. So I just shrunk this one down and made it a little bit smaller. I'm still trying to use that little piece of lace, but I end up using a bigger piece of lace. Yeah, there you go. We're going to put that big piece of lace down through there. So let's go back and get that cluster made. And I probably will just speed a lot of this up, and if I need to come back through and say anything about a certain part that I'm doing, I will. But I think you're going to be able to just see this and know exactly what's going on. And like I said, all of the products, any of the products that I have used, I will have those linked below. If you just go to show more in the comments down there, there'll be a little, if you're on your phone, there'll be a little arrow up on the right hand side. If you just click that, it opens up all of my links and everything, and then you can go and click on those links and go directly to the products that I have used. So just get you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and sit back and enjoy the video. And if there's anything that I need to say, I'll pop back in and let you know what's going on. I'm just going to put some music on and enjoy. We will talk to you at the end of the video. Now this is where I'm talking about what I want to put here on the spine part. I don't want to put anything that's real thick because it will cause it to be, you know, gape open. So that's why I decided just this thin book page. And I knew that wouldn't look bad because I like book page in there anyway. So that's what I'm going to put down here. Is I'm just gluing it right there in the middle where I joined my pages together, where I sewed everything together. I'm just going to put it right down through there. And I actually tore that off a little bit short, so I'm going to end up getting another piece to put on there. But that's what I glued down there. Just make sure if you put it in there that you glue it down really well, because when you fold your album up, you don't want it to be coming loose and turning loose, that kind of thing, from your glue. Now those pieces that I'm gluing down there, they're from the Tracy Fox. I think it was from her labels collection, and I just trimmed them out and put one at the top and one at the bottom just to kind of give that page a little bit of, I don't know, a break. I don't know what to call it, but anyway, I just thought it looked better, and I didn't want to put a lot behind that tag because I did want to do some journaling there, so that's what I left there. And then you'll notice on each page I'm trying to do a different kind of lace, all vintage, but I'm just trying to use some different ones from my stash. And again, those are from Cindy's Vintage Cafe, and that will be linked below. The paper collection that I'm using is also a digital kit, and it's from Shabby Dabby Doodah, Tina, and I will link that below as well. I love the paper collection. These labels are from her, and I love those too. They can be used as book plates or just plain labels. Some of them I cut off and just used as plain labels. Now, these I printed on just I think it's 110 GSM copy paper, but if you want them a little bit thicker, then you can print them on some cardstock. I just wanted mine thin because I tried to keep everything in this book a little bit thin. Now right here what I'm doing is I just took an old piece of that book page that I had here, and I'm just rolling it up and just kind of making a little thing that looks like a scroll to put there on the side. And I just used my little pokey tool to do that, but someone asked me did they think that you could do that with one of those quilling tools, and I'm sure you probably can. Anything that'll roll the paper. Sometimes I use a little paintbrush, just anything like that that'll make it roll up. But I just thought I would put that there, and then I put that little tag down there, and it just kind of makes it look like a little scroll. But I thought that was cute. I didn't want to do a lot right there. And then I'm just going to find some little tiny pieces of bling and put on either end of that tag. I like to do that. It just kind of makes them look like that's what's holding them down. So I do that on either end of that. And I'm digging in my stash and trying to use all of those little pieces that I've had forever. That some of them are loose, some of them have lost their sticky, but I can't bring myself to throw them away. I have to use them. So looks like, yeah, I'm just rolling that up, and I put just a dot of glue under there to keep it rolled, and then I just ink the outside of it. And there you go. It just looks like a little scroll there. It says notes. So you might think that there's notes on the inside of that little scroll. So here is the next page. And I love, love, love this page. I love that paper. And I got to put my little tag in there that I love so much. That little ink spot on that tag I love. I know that is one of those little wax seals, but I would like to have a stamp that just does that little ink spot. If anybody knows where I can find one, shoot me an email and let me know. I've been looking everywhere for one, and so far I haven't found one yet. But I just need a stamp that does some different little ink blotches or splotches or whatever you want to call them. I think that would be cute on some different journaling cards and papers and things like that. I don't know what that old building is. I'm going to have to ask Tina. I love it though. It's probably something from over in Europe. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments below. I think it may be something from over there, but I just think it's adorable. I love it. And it went very well with this page. It went well with the collection. So, and I will make sure that I link the collection below, because I think this is an adorable collection. I've got one more to use in my next project, and I love it too. Now that's the little vellum pocket that I used. That actually is not vellum, that is freezer paper that I used. I made a pocket with it the other day when we made our little Tuesdays tips, tricks, and techniques pockets and all that. I made that out of freezer paper, and I didn't like the height of it, so I just went ahead and tore it off and then inked it up. And then I'm just going to make, I think that I'm going to make 2 tags to go down in there, but then I realized that I need more room for my photos, so I end up making just 1 tag to go down in there, and then I make that little pocket smaller to fit that tag. And I'm just using a piece of the paper that I had left over to cover one of these tags that I have. And then on the other side, the back side, I'll put a piece of just blank book page so that I can do journaling on that as well. And then I think I've got one of those little floral cards. That's Cabbage Rose from the Graphics Fairy, and then a little butterfly from the Tim Holtz collection. And that's where I decided I needed something blank on the back of that. I could have left it just like it was, but I felt like I needed something else. And that little piece of blank book page just happened to be the right size. So I put that on there. And then I just go ahead and trim everything off, and I grab my little hole reinforcers, and I went ahead and put some pink ones on here. I buy the white ones, and then I just color each sheet a different color with my alcohol markers or my Tim Holtz Distress markers, and then I just have them ready to use when I'm making a project like this. So that's what I did on there. And then I'm going to be using a piece of the trim that I got from Alicia with my book pages the other day. She sent me a package, and I filmed that of book pages, and she had them all tied up with a piece of beautiful pink trim. So I'm going to be using that to put a little pull in that tag. That's where I fold it over. I just feel like I want it a little bit smaller. Then I made sure that I put plenty of glue on the back, and so that would hold that down there. I still have lots of room for journal and lots of room for photos there. There's that little piece of trim that I put it in there. I'd been trying to use that. I'd had it up in my little basket here, and I had been trying to use it ever since she sent it to me because I thought it was so pretty, but I couldn't find the right project to use it on, so I just went ahead and used it on that. I thought it worked well. It goes well with that other page over there, that pink that's in that other page. I like that. So there we go. And then I'm just going to put that little card with that cabbage rose on the front and that little butterfly. And that's going to decorate that little pocket up and finish off that page. Now I am, let's see, what am I doing now? I am trying to find some more pieces that I want to glue down on there. And I just found that little, and it's a Tim Holtz, come from that little Tim Holtz collection, but I can't remember what it says, and I don't have the little album right here in front of me. But I'm just trying to find another piece of lace to put on that particular page. Like I said, I tried to do each page in a different lace. So, and I almost run out. I've got to get more from Cindy. Cindy, if you're watching this, I need more lace. And someone asked me why I use napkins and paper towels and things like that. I just can't stand that ink getting I can't stand that glue getting everywhere. So I just kind of dab up the glue as I'm going along. That's just something I've always done. My husband says I should have been born with a paper towel in my hand, because I go with paper towels in my hands all the time. And I'm constantly wiping everything down and wiping my tables down and wiping the end tables down, whatever. That's just one of my habits. But now I'm trying to figure out what tag I want to put in that little 1-inch pocket. And I pulled out different ones that I have made. And like I said, I try to keep these in my stash, just ready to go whenever I need them. That one is a little bit too big, but boy, I'm trying to get it in there really bad. But it is too big. I end up putting it over on the back page. No, you can't get it in there. There we go. Put it on that page. And then we'll go back to that other page, and I find just the perfect tag to slide in there. It just takes me a minute. I have to convince myself that it's going to be okay. Pulling out all of my tags and pockets and things that I have made in the last few days, and I've got tons of them. So see, I keep all of these in a little zip bag, and I just keep them beside me here, and when I get ready to make these albums like this, then I have things to put in them. And that one right there fits perfectly. All I need to do is make a little tag insert to put in that pocket, and that worked out well. And I love the colors with it. All of those colors go together well. So now what are we going to put on that other page? I'm going to put something down there, but I'm not going to put a lot because I want to leave room for photos and some journaling, which I can do journaling on that tag too. Okay, so here I just went back to my stash to pull out more trims and laces. And I found that lace that was just a floral lace, and it was from Prima. It's been a while ago. I don't know if I can find it, but if I can, I'll link it below. And then I just found some more vintage lace that I wanted to use down through there. That was just a little scallop. I think it's really pretty. And I ended up getting glue all down through there, so I'm trying to get all that glue up. And I'm very impatient. If I would wait for it to dry, it would roll up easy. But, you know me, I'm a little bit impatient when it comes to that. So we're going to finish that page off, and then with that flower over there, I'm going to make a little cluster, and you'll see that in just a moment once I get through fiddling with this side and trying to get that glue off. So we're just going to use that little floral piece and then pull in some different things and make a little cluster on that other side over there. Okay, Edith, it's good. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. See, I can talk to myself like this. I don't know about these voiceovers. I want to fuss at myself and say, stop, just go. That's where I'm telling you, if my If my microphone had been working, I was telling you exactly what I was going to do over there, or what I thought I was going to do. So of course I'm pulling out book page. That's just a base for any kind of cluster that you want to go, is a book page. It just makes everything to me come together. And then I'm just laying that little lacy flower on top of it. And then going back, of course, to my little stash and pulling out some different things. And I pulled out one of those little cards, and I think it said, oh, what did it say? I may have to see if I can read it here. Maybe you can read it. I'm on a small screen. It's something about my heart. But anyway, that I thought that went very well with my daughter. So, and then I'm just tucking in a little clock up there, because on this page I'm going to write something about how time flies. You know, since it was another birthday, and I just can't believe that she's getting older. Seems like she should still be a little baby. But now she has children of her own. So then this is just from the Tim Holtz, a little bee piece there. So now I'm just going to start gluing everything down and start trying to form my cluster here. And then I go back and I put some bling on the inside of that flower, since it's got that opening there. I did show you there what that said, but on my little bitty screen I can't see it, but maybe you can. And then there is that little piece from Tim Holtz that I took down there. And then I just get to feeling like it needs something else up there at the top left, because I've got all that pink on the right. So I come back and put just a little paper flower up there that has just a little bit of pink in it. And that just kind of brings that pink all the way full circle. I'll find the right one in just a minute, I promise. There we go. And somehow I lost the little bling piece out of the center, so I'm just going to grab another little piece of bling and put the bling in both of those flowers, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next page. Okay, so here I'm just telling you that I need to put something down through there where those two pages come together. That's where I piece the pages. So I'm just going to take a piece of that little brown trim, and I'm going to put that down through there. It has no dimension to it, and it kind of goes with the page. It's vintage, so I think it'll look good down through there. And then I can always put a photo over it if I need to, because it doesn't have any dimension to it. So I'm just going to glue that down and have that going down through there. We are to the back page now, and this is where I'm going to put this little, it's like a little booklet, and I'm going to add some little pages into it and make it a little page pocket insert type thing. And I pulled out, I just wanted a little pocket to put that in, and I pulled out this pocket that we made a while ago with our book pages, and I just did some stamping on there. I know this page doesn't have any purple in it, and I've got some purple butterflies on that, but I'm not too concerned with that. I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fine. I don't think everything has to be matchy-matchy when you make albums and things like this. Sometimes I think they're really prettier when they're not. So I'm just going to glue this down. Makes a nice little pocket, and then my little booklet will just slide right down in there. So there we go, and I'll come back later and put my little pages in there. See, it's a perfect fit, so I think it was just made to be. And I love how that little butterfly, you can see the butterfly all because of that little cutout there. And then I feel like that I need some kind of little tag or label or something on there, so I'm just flipping through some different labels to see what I might come up with. But this is actually my thought process. And then on that left page there, I'm not going to do anything to that page. I love how that page looks. I don't want to cover anything up. I'm going to put photos over there, and that's going to be all that I'm going to do. But I'm probably just going to put one or maybe two smaller photos there because I want to be able to see that page. I love those roses. They're so pretty. So I think I end up just putting a Tracy Fox label over there, I do believe. And I just glue it, I think, straight down. I don't know that I put anything behind it. We will see in just a minute. I should have had my little book here in front of me, but when I started to edit, I didn't think that I would need it because I thought that my microphone had worked when it didn't. So let's see what I do. I keep trying to put a piece of trim behind it and lace behind it and everything else, but things just don't seem to look like I want them to look. So now I'm flipping through everything else to try to see what I want to do. Too many flowers there. So we'll see what it actually will be. See, I'm thumbing my fingers on the table because I feel like there's got to be something else to put behind there. It's hard for me just to glue one thing straight down. So I come back to that little clock, and then of course vellum. You can never go wrong with vellum. So I'm going to ink that little vellum piece up. And I'm probably going to put it under there and then put that little label down. And then I'm putting another clock. I don't think I remembered that I had just used one of those little clocks on the other page, but that's fine. It's no problem. I'll just have two clocks on there. There we go. And then I'm just going to tuck that little clock in. And then I think I end up going and putting a little piece of bling in the center of that clock just so that it kind of stands out a little bit more than what it is, since all of that's brown there. See, I still feel like it's got to be something else. So I'm going to put just a little white flower there, and then to me that kind of finishes it off. And then I do need that little piece of bling in the center of that. And it's hard for me not to drag out my big thick bling. I'm having to try to keep it low profile, so I'm just trying to keep it flat. As flat as I can. It doesn't have to be completely flat. So I don't know. I do end up, I think, putting that on that page. I think I do come back and put that little vellum pocket on that page. I do believe that I do. I don't think I do that on camera. I think I actually do that off camera, but you'll see in the photos at the end that I think I did put that little vellum pocket on there. So now I need another piece of trim for this very back page. And I started to put a pink one on there, and then I thought, no, I'm going, you know, all of these other ones are just vintage grays and browns and tans and that kind of thing. So I didn't want to go with a colorful one. So I go back into my stash and I pull out more laces. And I end up with one that works well on the back there. And then this is where I come back and I add a few more flowers because I just feel like that, I don't know, I feel like it needs it. So I add a few more flowers there. And that was one of my little tea cards that fell out. So I end up just taking my tea cards and I fold the little corner over. When you do that, a lot of times they won't slide completely down in the pocket, and they hold a little bit better. So I did that. Then I still need to finish off that back and put my lace trim on there. This is some trim that I got from Cindy, and it's beautiful. I've had it in my hoard vault forever, but it's time to drag it out and use it. So that is what I actually put right there after I cover up that yellow with a piece of material. So I just glue some cream colored material down to that little yellow spot there and then put that lace across there. But I do that off camera. I do show you in the beginning. I showed you that, but I kind of do that off camera. Okay, that is our completed Cascading mini album made from file folders. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell if you want to be notified when we put up new videos. And we will have lots of photos at the end, so don't forget to stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.